12 seconds. That's exactly how long it takes director David Sandberg to hook us into his viral short film, Lights Out. No dialogue, no crazy camera moves, just 3 simple shots, and we're hooked. Sandberg launched his career as a Hollywood film director off the back of this short film, which he made in his apartment with no budget, no professional actors, and no expensive film gear. So what is it exactly about this tiny short film that gained millions of views, attracted the attention of Hollywood, and launched a filmmaking career? The internet's a wild place. One minute you're jerry-rigging a trash can as your key light and using your bedsheet as a costume. And the next you're on the set of a Hollywood film directing your first feature. This is exactly what happened to David Sandberg when he uploaded Lights Out to YouTube in 2013. I wanted to go back to this no-budget short horror film that started it all and see if I could find out exactly why it captured the internet and Hollywood's attention. I've pinpointed 5 key elements that Sandberg uses that I think made this film go viral and launch his career. There's definitely more than these 5 key elements, but I think these are the 5 that, if you use them in your no-budget short horror, you'll be way ahead of the game. And if you want to see more videos like this on filmmaking and how you can become a feature filmmaker, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Okay, starting at number 5, the hook. If I had to choose one key element that contributed most to this film's viral success, it'd probably be the hook. On the internet, you've got somewhere between 3 and 15 seconds to capture your audience's attention before they click off forever. Sandberg is acutely aware of this and wastes no time. We're hooked at the 12-second mark of this film, and only after 3 simple shots. What is the hook exactly in this film? It's this. This spooky image immediately gives rise to a burning question in our minds as we watch, which is, what the heck is that in the hallway? Now that we've had this question lodged in our minds, we need to know the answer, and we're going to stick around to find out. We're hooked, and at the complete mercy of Sandberg. Humans are naturally curious. In your short film, if you can immediately set up a burning question in the mind of the audience, they're highly likely to stick around, just to find out the answer. This is crucial. Even if the rest of your film isn't very good, you can usually get an audience to keep watching if you set up a burning question that needs answering. 4. Subtle sound. In horror, sound is king. Lights Out uses sound and lack of sound to effectively create tension and keep us on the edge of our seats. When making this film, Sandberg recorded all of the sound in post-production, meaning he didn't record sound when he shot the film. This is for a very good reason. He understands both the importance and the power of having good sound in horror. You can set up so much suspense with the simple creak of a floor, or the running of footsteps, or the flickering of a light. Recording the sound after shooting, he can fully engage with how he wants to create the tension in the soundscape. The use of music too is very sparing. Sandberg only uses music when he absolutely needs to. Like here, she realizes the monster is in the room with her. We get a tiny piece of music. In your horror film, you can use the same technique. Record sound after shooting. This way, you can split up the elements of filmmaking, and you can focus on each element in isolation. It can also be tempting to fill your film with horror music, but just remember, the more you use an element, the less power it has. 3. Masterclass in minimalism. Simplicity is key into why Lights Out went viral. The film runs for less than 2.5 minutes and has only 13 separate shots. Each shot is unpretentious and serves the story, locked off on a tripod with only a few subtle push-ins that are applied in post-production. The story itself is simple, about one core idea. When the lights go out, a monster appears. That's not to say it doesn't have a perfect 3-act structure. What's impressive about Lights Out is that you don't even notice a structure. Let's quickly have a look. The opening shot sets up time, place, and tone of the film. A rainy night, a lonely building. The second shot sets up our protagonist, a woman going back to bed and switching out the light. Sandberg doesn't waste time with heavy characterization. We get it. She's a woman going back to bed. The third shot introduces our antagonist, or monster, which is also the inciting incident. The inciting incident, in script speak, is the event or thing that sets the rest of the story in motion. So here, the inciting incident is her seeing a monster in the hallway when she turns out the light. Everything that follows is her responding to that inciting incident. After glimpsing the monster up close, we're at the end of Act 1 in only 35 seconds, and we begin Act 2 with her taping up the light. For the rest of Act 2, she's responding to the monster in different ways. Act 3 is when she pokes her head above the covers and she thinks the monster's gone, but there's one final scare. Act 3 runs for only 10 seconds. Sandberg shows you can have all the fundamentals of good story structure wrapped up in a very simple idea. When making a film, always err on the side of simplicity. Cut any shot that's there just to look cool. Hone your story down to its simplest form and cut back on extraneous characterization if it doesn't serve the story. 2. The concept. Arguably, the concept behind Lights Out is the main reason why Sandberg's film went viral, got picked up by Hollywood, and was made into a feature film. The concept of a monster appearing only when the lights are out is simple and original and incredibly well executed by Sandberg. The rules of the concept are also very clear. We know that when the lights are out, the monster appears, and when the light is on, the monster can move, which sets up a really juicy dilemma for the protagonist. A dilemma that in fact got spun out into a feature film. An original concept, well executed, is worth its weight in gold in Hollywood. This is the part of the process it's a good idea to invest a decent amount of time in. Have fun spitballing original ideas with someone else for monsters or scary concepts. Thinking about the rules that your monster or scary element has to abide by can be very helpful as well for generating original concepts. And finally, one final scare. There's a filmic truism that reads, "Start late, get out early." What this means is that it's a good idea to start the film or scene as late as possible before the main action, and then finish the film or scene as soon as the main action is finished. In Lights Out, we start as late as possible. We get a glimpse of the monster, the main action, just seconds after the film starts, and then the film finishes as soon as we see the monster in full. Start late, get out early. This final scare gives the audience what they came for, to be scared, and to find out what the heck that was in the hallway. It's also very unexpected because it subverts the established rules that have been set up, that we don't see the monster when the light is on. In your short horror, try to leave the audience with a sense of dread in the final image of the film. It doesn't have to be a jump scare, but some final scary or creepy element gives the audience what they came for. Then get out fast. A good process when creating your short film is to start with the end image in mind, as in start with a final image that you want to leave the audience with and work backwards from there. There we have it, the 5 key elements I've picked out of David's career-launching, no-budget short horror film. Let me know in the comments if you think there's any that I've missed. I hope this video has helped you to make your next short horror film, or at least given you a couple of ideas. There's a link to Lights Out in the description, and obviously I would highly recommend you check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.